Hello everyone, and welcome to Warhammer. Today we're going to be going over the Lumineth Realm Lords. Um, and so, sorry for the gap in videos. I tried to make it as short as possible. Also, this video I'm going to have to pause in the middle because my friend's coming over to grab some stuff. But please apologize for that. I'll try my best to edit it nicely. So Lumineth Realm Lords. You've got your battle traits, which we've already gone, so I'm just going to pause on this page here, and then we're going to go to battle formations. So the Venari one, basically all of these allow you to use a facet of war that you've already used, in addition to one that you've already used. So you get 2 per turn instead of just the one. The Venari one gives you the power of Hysh, the Skinari gives you the Deep Thinkers, the Alareth gives you the Enduring as Rock, and the Hurricane gives you the Move Like the Wind, which is powerful. These abilities are pretty strong, so like Deep Thinkers, add 1 to casting rolls, Move Like the Wind. You can move in the shooting phase, but can't shoot. Some pretty powerful abilities. You get your heroic traits as a reaction when you've declared the redeploy wholly within 12 of this unit. You can roll a 4 instead of a 1 to 3. Once per battle, perfect strike. You pick an enemy unit, inflict a D3 plus 3 mortal damage. Pretty decent. Once per battle reaction, you declare the charge ability or a spell ability. You can reroll the charge roll or casting roll. Okay. I think Masterful Tactician is going to be the best one here because it's just not once per battle. Once per battle abilities generally suck. Artifacts of power, you've got Phoenix Stone. If this unit would be destroyed, roll a dice on a 3-up. The unit is not destroyed, and you heal 1. And no damage points that had applied to it, they just disappear. So actually really powerful. Then this ability cannot be used again for the rest of the battle. Silver Wand passive, if it's not a wizard, it has Wizard 1, otherwise it gets an extra cast, basically. And then once per battle, you can remove this unit from the battlefield and set up anywhere more than 9 from enemy units. I think Phoenix Stone is going to be your best one. Put that on a killy character, but there's not really too many non-unique characters, so actually Waystone might be pretty good to get like a wizard out of combat. You've got your spell lore, the lore of Hysh, casting value of 5, speed of Hysh, pick a friendly Lumineth Realm Lords unit wholly within 18, add 4 to the remove characteristic. Really strong spell. Overwhelming Heat, casting value of 7, pick a friendly wizard, pick an enemy unit within 18, have the target's move characteristic. If the roll equals or exceeds, then roll a dice. If the roll equals or exceeds the target's save characteristic, inflict D3 mortal damage on it. So really good against heavily armored opponents. And then Protection of Hysh. In your hero phase, you pick a friendly wizard, and then until the start of the next turn, friendly units have a ward of 5 up wholly within 12. And the unlimited one is the one that increases the speed, which is pretty powerful. Really like that one. Then you've got the Manifestation Lord, the Sanctum of Amontok, casting value of 4. You get to set it up. It's got 3 parts. Set it up wholly within 12 of the infantry hero, and more than 3 from other units and terrain features. And then Hysh Twin Stones. Set it up within 6 inches of the caster. And then Rune of Petrification, casting value 7. Set it up wholly within 18 inches of the caster, invisible to them. All right. Archmage Teclis, we've already gone over his rules before, so we're just going to let it lie here. You can pause and look at it if you so desire. And then the Light of Eltharion, 6 health, 3-up save, 6-inch move. It's got its shooting attacks and some pretty gnarly close combat. You ignore all save modifiers, positive and negative, and ignore negative modifiers to hit and wound, and ignore negative modifiers to the characteristic of its melee weapon. So this gives, and ward 5-up. 3-up save, 5-up ward. can't modify that 3-up save makes him really tanky. Like, really, really tanky. Um, quite nice in a. I would say that there's a lot of rend in this edition, even though they said they were getting rid of a lot of rend. Um, just my opinion. There's seems to be a whole lot of rend. So having an ability to ignore rend is pretty amazing. Lyrier, your Youthrail, seems to be a pretty good cavalry hero. I actually really like this character, and it's made me almost want to start a Lumineth army. I didn't know about it. I don't know Lumineth very well. I don't like most of the Lumineth models. Um, but reaction, if you declared an all-out attack for the Venari, if this unit's within 12 inches of the unit using the all-out attack command, no command points are spent to use it. And then Solar Flare, casting value of 7, pick a visible enemy unit or manifestation. If the target's a manifestation, inflict 3d6 mortal damage. Otherwise, roll dice for each model in the target unit. For each 5-up, inflict a mortal damage. And it gets anti-demon on his blade. I wish they gave this to more Seraphim things, because they're supposed to be the anti-demons guys, but, it's all right. We're going to take a break here and then go on to the Venari Lord Regent in a second, because I see my friend is almost here. See you in a bit. All right, Venari Lord Regent, kind of the main little guy version of Lyrier. You get once per battle for the rest of the turn, add 1 to casting rolls and subtract 1 from hit rolls that target this unit, and then once per battle in your charge phase, pick this unit and up to 2 friendly Venari Dawn Riders. You can reroll charge rolls for the targets. In addition, if they charge, add 1 to the attacks of their weapons. So pretty powerful once per game abilities, but they're once per game, which kind of holds him back. Does not have that ward. The Venari Orlan Sentinels, so these are your archers. For the rest of the turn, in your shooting phase, add 6 to the range, but subtract 1 from hit rolls. So you would hit on 4s, but have a 24-inch range. So not going to be too applicable. An extra 6 inches is not going to be too important on your shooting attacks. The Venari Banner Blade. His passive adds 3 to the control of Lumineth Realm Lords wholly within 18 of this unit. Must take, in my opinion, because that will increase your control scores by quite a bit. 18 inches is a big aura, so definitely worth it. Plus, the model looks super cool. Personally, I don't like these super crazy head crests on most of the guys, but his aren't that bad. The Venari Orlan Wardens, they've got the crit and anti-charge. If this unit did not charge this turn and is in combat with an enemy unit that has charged this turn, roll a dice, add 1 to the roll of the enemy unit's cavalry. On a 4-up, this unit has strike first, so it gives you some good anti-charge rules. The Venari Dawn Riders, some pretty heavy cavalry. My dog's being a fool right now. If this unit charged, pick an enemy infantry unit within an inch, and roll a dice for each model in this unit, so up to 5 dice for each 3-up, inflict a mortal damage on the target. It's okay. It is alright, but nothing to write home about. Scanari Cathalar. In your hero phase, pick an enemy unit within 12, roll a dice. On a 3-up, subtract d6 from the target's control score, so pretty powerful. Reduce control. And absorb despair, ignore negative modifiers to the control scores of friendly Lumineth Realm Lord units while they're wholly within 12. 1 second, my dog needs to be let out. All right, so the Venari Star Shard Ballista has not got too much. It's a cheap little war machine. 3 attacks, 2-up, 3-up, rend 1d3 damage, and is anti-monster, crit 2 hits. In your shooting phase, for the rest of the turn, add 6 to the range of this unit's Star Shell bolts while it's wholly within 12 of Orlan Sentinels. And then blinding bolts, if all of its unit shooting attacks this turn target the same enemy unit, subtract 1 from hit rolls for the target's attacks for the rest of the turn. So pretty powerful kind of effects that this can bring. Also, sorry if you hear my dog playing in the background. He needed his ball, apparently. Skinari Enlightener, you've got Wizard 2. Once per turn, as a reaction, when you declare the speed of Hysh, Overwhelming Heat, or Ethereal Blessing spell, if that spell is successfully cast, roll a dice on a 3-up after resolving the effect of the spell. They can immediately cast that spell a second time using the same casting roll. Do not count the second spell towards the number of spell abilities this unit can use this turn. So you could possibly cast 3 spells in a turn instead of just the 2. And then Ethereal Blessings. So this is one of the spells he can use, or she. Pick a visible, friendly Lumineth Realm Lords infantry unit. Wholly within 18. Ignore all modifiers to the save rolls, positive or negative. So casting value of 6. So pretty easy one to get off. The Skinari Caligrave. So Realm Scribe, once per turn, when you declare a summon spell ability, change the casting roll to a value of 8 that cannot be modified once per turn. So kind of gives you that mini techless ability. The Skinari Lore Seeker in the deployment phase, if it has not been deployed, set up anywhere on the battlefield not in combat with enemy units. That unit has now been deployed. Enemy units that deploy after this unit can deploy in combat with it. Interesting. Add 5 to this unit's control score while it's more than 9 inches from all other friendly units. So that's a crazy ability that is very odd. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this in Age of Sigmar. To be able to technically drop in your enemy's deployment zone and to have him really just be able to be in combat in the first turn pretty much assuredly. And if your enemy deploys in combat with him, assuredly. That's very strange. The Venari Blade Lords, each time they use the fight ability, you must either pick for Perfect Strike or Flurry of Blows. In addition, do not use the attack sequence made for Perfect Strike. Instead, on a 2-up, inflict immortal damage. And then Guardians, while any friendly Skinari heroes are wholly within this unit's combat range, gets a ward of 5 up, and that unit gets a ward of 5 up. Bringing them pretty durable with the 2 health. I think they might be one of the better bodyguard units. Alania and Alethor, also a big war scroll that we've gone over before, so I'm going to just let it pause here. You've seen it. You could pause it if you really want to see it in depth. Alareth Stone Mage, we've got the Stone Mage stance. Pick a friendly Alareth Elf unit wholly within 12. On a 3-up, add 1 to the rend of their melee weapons. And then Living Fissure, casting value of 7. Pick a point on the battlefield within 18. Draw a straight line between the target and the closest part of this unit's base. Roll a d3 for each unit, friendly and enemy, that the line passes across on a 2-up, inflict amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. So could be super useful spell, could also be not very effective. Alarith Stone Guard, you've got 2 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, 2 damage. They've got a ward of 5 up while all of its models are contesting an objective you control, so a pretty powerful defensive unit. This is one that suffers from the helmet. I think cutting it off like there would be great. So I might do an army and just cut off half the helmets for most of this stuff. Avalinor, the Stoneheart King, 16 health, so at 3-up save, so a pretty tanky monster hero. Stone Mage Symbiosis, if the battle damage has no effect while it's wholly within 12 inches of a friendly Alarith Stone Mage. You've got a command ability from it. Unshakable Faith in the Mountains, pick up to 3 different Alarith Elf units, add 1 to the attacks of their melee weapons. And then Unbreakable Bulwark once per turn in the combat phase. If this unit did not charge this turn, pick an enemy unit in combat. On a 2-up, subtract 1 from the rend characteristic of their melee weapons and add 1 to the attacks of this unit's melee weapons. And then Alarith Spirit of the Mountain. This is the named character, and the Alarith is not the name of the thing. So this is basically the less tanky version, 14 health instead of 16. Has the same Stone Mage Symbiosis and Stoneheart Shockwave. If this unit did not charge this turn, pick an enemy unit in combat. On a 4-up, they get Strike Last. So a weaker Rampage ability. The Hurricane Wind Mage has a casting value of 7 spell. Pick a Realm Lord unit holding within 12 inches, remove the target, and set it up on the battlefield more than 9 inches. So teleport spell. And then your movement, you pick a friendly Hurricane Wind Chargers. On a 3-up, add 3 to the move characteristic, and they get Fly. So speed them up. Severeth, 18-inch move speed, so one of the fastest move speeds that we've ever seen. He's got the Living Gale, cannot be targeted by shooting attacks made by enemy units if they're more than 9. Now, his bow only has a 12-inch range, so that's a weak point for sure. If he had a longer ranged weapon, he would be really, really powerful. Once per turn, you get Searing Desert Winds, pick up to 3 enemy units in combat. A roll of d3 for each target. On a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage equal to the roll and subtract 1 from wound rolls. And then while friendly Hurricane units are wholly within 12, they can use shoot and or charge abilities even if they use a run or retreat ability in the same turn. And no mortal damage is inflicted to them by retreat abilities. Ward of 5-up as well. Really interesting hero. Hurricane Wind Chargers, your very light ranged cavalry. Ward rolls cannot be made for damage points inflicted by their shooting attacks. So pretty good killing undead and demons as well. Interesting. Unit for sure. Fast with 14-inch move. Hurricane Spirit of the Wind, basically the non-named Severeth. Same kind of bow, but the damage characteristic is 3 if it targets a monster. It's got the same Spirit of the Wind ability, and then the Living Cyclone. Pick an enemy unit, roll a d3 on a 2-up, inflict mortal damage equal to the roll. Then this unit can move 6 inches, but it must must end that move in combat. Apologies for my voice. Yggdrasil Riverblades. I actually do like these helmets. In any combat phase, it can move 2d6. It can pass through models and enemy units, but must end that move in combat. Really interesting. And then in your movement phase, remove this unit from the battlefield and set it up again on the battlefield, wholly within 6 inches of battlefield edge, more than 9 from enemy units. So really versatile unit. I don't believe they can be reinforced, so you get can shoot in combat and is anti-hero. So really good at pushing through enemy units and getting into the lighter, like wizards. You've got Hysh Twin Stones, 5 health, 4-up save, 6-up ward. Going to be really easy to destroy that one. But you add 1 to casting rolls for Lumineth Realm Lords while they're wholly within 6, so it's going to be in your backline anyway. Rune of Petrification, 6 health, 4-up save, ward 6-up, so still easy to destroy. Roll a d3 for each target within 6 inches. On a 2-up, inflict amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. If the target has 3 mortal damage, it has Strike Last. Again, a pretty easily destroyed spell, but some interesting effects. Sanctum of Ammontok is basically a wall, doesn't have any health, and when the unit was picked to be the target of it, they get a ward of 4-up. If they're a wizard, you add 1 to their power level. Instead of measuring range or visibility to that unit, measure to the manifestation instead. Cannot be picked to be the target of abilities other than the Banish ability. And if that unit uses a move ability, makes a pile-in move, or is removed from the battlefield, this manifestation is removed from play. So you basically put it on a wizard to boost them up. Shrine Luminor has 12 health, 3-up save, no ward. It can fly, which is a little weird. Shrine Guardian passive. While this terrain feature has a Shrine Guardian, this terrain has a move characteristic of 6. Okay, that's where that comes. And can use move abilities into the unit. The Shrine Guardian cannot use move abilities and remains on this terrain feature each time it moves. Instead of measuring range or visibility to the Shrine Guardian, measure to this terrain feature instead. All attacks that would target the Shrine Guardian target this terrain feature instead. Okay. This terrain feature is destroyed before removing it on the battlefield. Inflict D3 mortal damage on the Shrine Guardian. Set it up wholly within 3 inches of the terrain feature, not in combat. The unit is no longer a Shrine Guardian. If it's not possible to set him up, it's slain. In your hero phase, you can enter the shrine with an infantry hero within 3 inches of it. Place a target on the terrain feature. It's not a Shrine Guardian. You can exit it, put it on somewhere on the battlefield wholly within 6, and not in combat. Then once per turn as a reaction, when you declare a spell ability, when this terrain feature has a Shrine Guardian, you can reroll the casting roll for that spell. So pretty powerful reroll spells could be useful on your little wizards, which you have a few. Spearhead, you get Scanari Cathalar, 2 units of 5 Orlon Sentinels, a unit of 10 Orlon Wardens, and a unit of 5 Venari Blade Lords. Sorry about my dog. Battle traits, you get one of these. You've got either Facets of War. You must end once per battle round. You must use this ability at the start of the battle round. Pick a Facet of War. Facet of War cannot be used this battle round, but the other 2 cannot. Okay, 1 second. Of course, my dog decides to be a butt when it's time to record. So you get to use Facet of War. You've got either Shining Company, target friendly unit targeted by attack ability that is not made of pile-in move. You subtract, so you don't get one of these. This is battle trait. These are basically the same. You get lightning reactions, power of Hysh, Shining Company. Regiment abilities, you pick one of the following. Arcane Prowess is add 1 to the casting rolls for your general. Or you get heightened reflexes, add 1 to the save rolls for friendly units that use a fight ability immediately after another friendly unit because of lightning reactions. Okay, so that's a pretty powerful ability. Probably going for a heightened reflex. But, you know. Enhancements, you get one of these. Overwhelming Heat, pick a visible enemy unit within 24. Make a casting value of 2d6. On a 7-up, have the move characteristic, and so same thing. You've got Waystone, remove your general from the battlefield, set them up anywhere on the battlefield more than 6, so pretty much the same. Protection of Hysh is also a spell. On a 7-up, the target has a ward of 5-up, and then Speed of Hysh. On a 5-up, double the move characteristic. Okay. So basically, you get some spells as your enhancements. I haven't seen that before. Scanari Cathalar are going to be much the same. So all these are going to be much the same with less of the rules. So you've got 1 unit of the Venari Blade Lords, 2 units of the Sentinels, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it 2 units of the Wardens? No, it's 2 units of the Sentinels and then 1 big unit of the Wardens. And a lot of reinforcement, which is pretty powerful. I think the Lumineth are going to be very strong in this edition. Also, keep an eye out. I will probably be having a battle report coming next week, probably Monday, if I'd have to guess, as a break to this faction focus. But we're doing Warhammer Extravaganza probably up even through August. But that's going to be it for this episode. I apologize for all the disturbances. I thought there would only be 1, and then my dog decided to be a butt the whole rest of the time. But please like, subscribe, let me know what units you are most interested in, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Goodbye, and have a great day.